Well, under the impulse of the economic crisis, we have seen a new dialogue to strengthen global governance and find solutions for problems we share. Among those, of course, there's the World Bank, which is the financial instrument of the international community, which has traditional tasks like fighting poverty, but it will have new endeavors like helping to fight climate change in the 21st century. But it can hardly do it with its present governance. And that is why Bob Selig, its president, decided to appoint an international commission with people like this. And they asked me to be the chair because they believe that I am underemployed, which is not true, right, Mr. President? We work during the summer and deliver our report in October. And we made a diagnosis of the present governance of the World Bank. And of course, I'm not giving complex definitions, but by good governance, we meet an institution that has adaptability, accountability, legitimacy, and focus on results in a very synthetic way. Well, we made a diagnosis and we found that although it has strengths, governance at the World Bank has very serious problems, like conflict of interest. Why conflict of interest? Because the executive board represents the membership on the one hand, it has the oversight responsibility, which is fine, but they also have co-managerial responsibility. The executive board is supposed to approve every single operation of the World Bank, and that clearly poses a very serious conflict of interest. So this is just one problem, but a very serious one that we found in the World Bank governance. We also, and the consequence of that is that we have very weak accountability. Disappears. And of course, strategy formulation, it's also very weak. It should drop now. Drop. So we need to address that. Well, we also have a problem of what is called voice and representation. 25 seats, well, starting this year. Some guys are too powerful in the board. Like the Europeans, they have a lot of chairs, too many chairs relative to their relative importance. And emerging and developing countries are seated in a corner. What we propose, eliminate conflict of interest. No managerial responsibility. They must have only the fiduciary representation and the oversight. And we also elevate the level of the board. They don't have the right seniority. We want to see ministers or deputy ministers seated at the World Bank board. But if you don't want to have an imperial president, you need strengthening oversight, and also you want separation between the chairman and the president of the World Bank. That's very important if you don't want to have. Okay, for the executive board, it's too big. We need to reduce it to 20, and we need to give enhanced voice and representation to developing and emerging countries. And of course, the first to put some chairs should be the Europeans. They have 8 or 9 at a time. They should get rid of 4 of them. And eventually, we should have a board of only 20, where at least we achieve a division of voting between developed and developing and emerging countries. And we think that a board like that, of course, there will still be some bigger guys because they put more money, and that has to be recognized. The US has veto to change the Articles of Agreement. We veto the veto. It shouldn't exist. To choose the president of the World Bank, we need rules, inclusion, competition, and that should deliver a good, accountable, effective president of the World Bank. We say, well, if they have better governance, because they will have big challenges, the World Bank should have more money, but conditioned upon doing the necessary reforms. Now, these reforms are not going to be carried out by the present executive board, not even by the ministers. We really need the political muscle behind this kind of reforms, and we need something like the G20 to start delivering on the promises that they have made.
Thank you, Ernesto.